And we're delighted to welcome you to Cary, North Carolina, WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, home to North Carolina FC. Tonight welcomes the Charleston Battery. This Southern Derby presented right here by the good folks from Aetna. And hello, everybody. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with Andrew Tate. And Andrew, nothing like a game 4 days after a loss. Throw in a Southern Derby, and you got a good one here.
Yeah, tough defeat for NCFC at the weekend here against Birmingham Legion. They'll be looking to bounce back in a positive fashion tonight. You throw out the cup there as the players going to walk past soon, and that's going to really inspire them to try and settle some scores here this evening.
Other inspiration comes from Akeem Ward. He was out on Saturday, but he's back in there tonight, and he's part of our Aetna player spotlight. Akeem Ward at left back, Andrew.
Yeah, huge. It was a huge blow for them to lose him at the weekend, as it meant a lot of big reshuffle at the back. Here you can show he comes off that left side, moves his right foot. He's a fantastic talent, and I'm looking forward to see him return to the lineup and allow that back four to maybe be a little bit more stable, with DJ Taylor slotting back in at the right back spot.
Charleston Battery, massive come-from-behind win over Atlanta, led by Zico Lewis with 2.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic from Zico Lewis. Look at the skill here. Back to goal, defender just off him, gave him a little bit of space. He spins, Dennis Bergkamp-esque, and slots it past the keeper. It was a huge comeback, 2-0 down at half-time. Fantastic performance from the Battery.
All right, Andrew, that will lead us to Bow time, the Bojangles starting lineup, and we'll start with the visitors from Charleston.
Always competitive, Mike Anhauser's team. 2 changes for him and across the back line, with Gadula coming in at right back and AJ Patterson coming in at left back. Look to see them bomb on. And then Joe Kuzminski, regular goalkeeper, returns to the lineup today. Was not in goal at the weekend, so he'll be looking to kind of keep the North Carolina attack subdued.
Take a look at the Bojangles starting lineup for the home team. A lot of changes, Andrew, for Dave Sarakin's team.
Yeah, and coach talked about freshness, but he also said these boys deserved an opportunity. So across the back line, you'll see Akeem Ward come in. DJ Taylor slides to that right back spot, with Kamsia sliding into the middle, his favoured position. And it's in attacking positions where you see the most changes. Ben Spees, Daniele Proke, and then Lomas coming in up top. Al Badawi returning to that middle, hopefully is going to allow them to create more opportunities, get that rhythm, and really get that production in front of goal that they're lacking at the moment.
Let's go right to work and show you the Continental Tire keys to the game, Andrew Tate. Break it down.
Yeah, so with those changes in the attacking areas, the likes of Proke coming in, Ben Spees, Al Badawi, those creative, tidy little players, we're looking for them to get on the ball and really probe and find those gaps in this athletic Charleston Battery team. Flying fullbacks, looking to see Akeem Ward and DJ Taylor bomb on, and I think it could be really interesting against the fullbacks of Gadula and Patterson, who are 2 very athletic fullbacks also.
And then you've got Lewis on the loose. We already talked about that. And Charleston, if they get a goal, they'll batten down the hatches. They are good. We will be back with the kickoff. Charleston Battery, North Carolina FC, USL Championship action. So glad you're with us.
Home is meant to be our safe place, but heart attacks and strokes don't stay home. Don't avoid the ER out of anxiety. Don't die of doubt. Don't stay silent, and don't stay home. If you have an emergency, call 911. When seconds count, the hospital is the safest place to be.
COVID-19 is a severe lung infection. Trust the American Lung Association for science-based public health information, especially for the 36 million Americans who live with lung disease. We have resources to protect your lung health, access expertise from medical professionals, and peer-to-peer support through our online communities. Visit lung.org for daily updates.
Matchsticks, matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There's something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me.
The United Soccer League, all 35 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. as you just saw that 15-second moment of silence, as we are all united against racism. And we are all united for this game, the Charleston Battery and North Carolina FC, a Southern derby. And right off the bat, Andrew Tate, before we get started, we'll tell you that Charleston is in white, as now they are going to do the 15-second moment of silence. So let's do that together. Good look at Daniele Proke, North Carolina FC in blue. And Andrew, where I was going with that is, because it's a Southern derby, we're really missing the fans even more. The Oak City supporters, the Renegados, all of the great fans that have been here from the beginning, even before USL Championship back in 2007, they know the significance of this game.
It's a huge game. North Carolina, South Carolina. There's a lot of players in the lineups here that have played locally in college in the Triangle area, that have played Clemson and had that battle of the Carolinas. So they all know, and being an Englishman myself, derbies are huge. You love a derby, an opportunity to get one over on your opposing number, and that's what's on stake today.
If you caught the pre-game show on all of the North Carolina FC social medias, we talked about the fact since coming into the USL Championship, North Carolina FC has not been able to beat this Charleston Battery team, led by one of the legends of the game, Michael Anhauser, who is the third longest tenured coach in the world, by the way. But they've been playing a lot longer than that, as Barry drops it back. This is their 16th professional game since coming back as 2007. And in fact, before Carolina Railhawks days, they were the Raleigh Capital Express and they were the Raleigh Flyers. They also played the Battery. But officially, since coming over here in 2007, NCFC leads this series 7-3-5. However, last time they were able to knock off Charleston Battery was back on July 11th, 2009. That's a long time.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, and it kind of relates really well to where NCFC is this season, is the lack of goals. They've never scored, since NCFC's inception, they've not scored more than a goal against Charleston Battery. And I think we saw in one of the build-ups with that crazy moment where it's bouncing off the post and everything in one of those games. Hopefully we'll see those balls flying in the goal today and have lots of excitement for the people watching at home.
Yeah, a couple years ago, the last minute was one of the craziest last minute you're ever going to see. It made Sports Center's top 10 plays. I was up here with Jason Garrett. He was dying, couldn't hold it together, and North Carolina FC just could not knock it in. And that game finished 1-1, part of those 5 games we talked about. Here's Ward. Great to see him back out there. Barry making an overlapping run, gives it back to Ward. And Ward looking like he did against Memphis, where his performance led him to the USL Team of the Week. Speaking of the USL Team of the Week, Zico Lewis for Charleston Battery by way of those 2 goals. Remember, Atlanta United 2 was up 2-0, and the Battery scored 3 unanswered.
Fantastic second half performance from the Battery. I watched that game and I don't think I saw it coming, but Zico Lewis was really in inspired form in the second half, and his goal, I think it was his second goal of the night, was absolutely superb. You'd have seen something like that in the Premier League, and I remember a goal from Dennis Bergkamp which was very similar. I think Bergkamp went the other way, but to do that in that pressured moment with a defender at your back, something really to be cherished.
Something else to be cherished is the fact that as you look at the Select PT injury report, we looked at it before the game, that is, there's nobody on it for North Carolina FC. That'll work, Andrew.
Yeah, it gives Coach Dave Sarachan some real questions to figure out, and I was wondering, is it freshness when he's making 5 changes, or is it deserved and he's just looking for more? But I know from looking at the lineup and in speaking to him, he was excited to see these players.
Daniele Prope, the former star at Duke, knocked off the ball. And there's Michael Anhauser, who just knocked that down. He played at Indiana and won a national championship under the Godfather Jerry Yeagley, and went down to Charleston, got injured, joined the staff as an assistant coach, named him head coach, and he's been the head coach there for double decades. I mean, this guy, the 3rd longest tenured coach in the world. That is crazy.
I was still speechless from the first time you said it. So I'm going to fall off the balcony here when you said it a second time. In the world, that is some stat.
And there is Mike Anhauser, known as Augie. They play it forward to Lomas. Lomas getting the start also means that the status of super sub returns for Robbie Christo, who per minutes played had the best per minute per goal ratio in the league a year ago, as every time he came off the bench, Andrew Tate, and you were here for quite a few of them, it felt like he scored a goal.
Yeah, and he's back in that role today, back on the bench. I'm not sure that's not where he wants to be, but I'm looking, especially as the game wears on, they've got a lot of firepower on the bench, NCFC, so they'll be looking for those players to come in and make an impact. And I know Christo will be disappointed to be where he is today, but I'm sure he's thinking about what he can do when he comes on.
Barry finds Ward, who looks to be okay. And chasing it down is Gadula. Gadula from Connecticut. One back by Lomas. Lomas just returned, as Andrew Tate told you a couple weeks ago. Came off the bench against Birmingham. Here's DJ Taylor. DJ Taylor also had a stint a week ago on the USL Championship Team of the Week. He's back at right back, where he's definitely more comfortable. I got to give him credit, though, because he was pretty solid at left back on Saturday as well.
Yeah, certainly not a bad performance from DJ. I think it just, the rhythm of the team just wasn't quite there. Obviously going down to an early goal and then having to dig yourself out of that. But certainly he's going to feel much more comfortable there, flying down that right-hand side and winning a corner here early for North Carolina could be a good opportunity.
This corner kick brought to you by the good folks at Jasmine and Olives. If North Carolina FC scores off this goal, it's buy one, get one free, courtesy of Jasmine and Olives. Here's Pekka. Pekka, heavy touch that time from Ward. He'll lose it. We'll see if the battery can get some numbers rolling. The cup is here, and Charleston would like nothing more to take it back with them. That's where it came from, as Charleston owns it right now. Meanwhile, the Oak City supporters, Ryan Jernigan and the gang, Jared Campbell, Chris Rodriguez, and all those great folks, they'd like nothing more to keep it right here in the triangle.
The fourth official currently guarding that trophy with his life. Not much action for him, so he's going to be stood by that trophy all night, making sure no one steals it.
DJ Taylor, part of the NCFC youth system, which Andrew Tate is a proud part of. Of course, John Bradford has made that transition as the assistant coach, and to me what that means is it's working. The real structure, the way it is where you grew up, it's working here.
Yeah, it's great to see. I mean, you've got all these like local college boys coming into the equation, the academy boys coming in. It's great to see that pipeline, and I'm a big advocate of that game, especially at the USL level and below, to see the growth and the derbies and the things that I grew up watching there and back home in England. It's great to see that evolving here as the sport continues to grow.
Joe Kuzminski from Denver, Colorado originally, gets it out wide to Van Schaik. There's Van Schaik again. North Carolina FC back in their traditional home blues. They wore white against Birmingham, and I think that was another reason. I'm very much into traditional things, and seeing them in the white at home was strange. As on the ball now, here is Piggott, and back in by Alex Tambakis. Pekka, good ball forward to Ben Spees. Ben Spees won a national championship at Akron, won a national championship at North Carolina. Not too many people can say they did that, as that one is hit too long. That'll work for Ben Spees, who's now part of the staff at the University of North Carolina, where he won that second national championship. But can you imagine playing at a great program like Akron that always does well, transferring to North Carolina and winning another national championship?
It's a tough life, Dean, isn't it? It's a tough life. Not many players get that luxury to win 2 national championships with 2 different schools. And that's another stat for you to look up there, Dean, I think. I mean, to win one's a fantastic achievement, you know, like your fellow typical commentator, Austin Deleuze, you know, he was lucky enough to pick one up, and I'm sure he was desperate for another, but fantastic achievement.
Yeah, he did it right here on this field against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Roger Espinoza actually scored in that game. He's done okay. Pekka. Been really impressed with what Pekka has brought as a two-way player to that holding midfield position.
Yeah, he's very industrious, isn't he? He covers a lot of ground for a man not so great in stature, but reads the game really well and does his job. And obviously today, with the number of attacking players ahead of him, a lot of responsibility on him, but a lot of confidence.
Lomas going to take a shot from distance. Diving down to the ground is Kuzminski. Quickly here for the Charleston Battery. Barry wearing Baba on the back in honor of his father. Great story you can check out, written by Morgan. I know her as Morgan Brown. She's recently married. I've not been able to log that married name, but she does a great job. You can check out the article about Barry. There's Ward back to Pekka. Barry, nifty little play to Lomas. Abadawi calling for it. It's just great to see Abadawi back out there. The captain, the face of the team now. Spees dropping one for Lomas. Thought maybe Lomas was going to chest and volley, but he was trying to find Proke. Spees driven in, and there's Proke. The little man rising up with his head, but just too high.
Daniele Proke, he's done that all his whole career in college. You look at him and you think, oh, he's got nothing. I don't need to worry about him in the box, big centre backs. And you look at him here, gets off the ground, great, just can't quite get over the ball to head it down and test Kuzminski. But a good ball in, and Proke showing that he's got a lot of tools to his in his locker. And he's a player that I'm excited to see the full 90 today, hopefully.
That replay brought to you by Select PT. And there is Dave Sarakin, now in his second season. What a great find by Kurt Johnson, the president, GM, Steve Malik, the owner, to bring a guy like Dave Sarakin, who not only is a great coach, but what a wonderful, wonderful human being.
Yeah, we talked to him today, and just hearing his enthusiasm, I think fans, and we get very down after defeats and things like that. He sounded so enthusiastic, so upbeat about playing and the opportunity to be out there and do something he loved. And it certainly didn't sound like he was going to hang up his cones and pennies anytime soon, Dean.
No, good to see Dave and his wife Cherie. Tough day for them. They actually had to put down their dog that they've had forever and love their dog. It's always a tough day for dog lovers, but we send our best to the Sarakins as Ward gets in there with his head. Played right back. The Battery got something cooking here. Trying to clean it up is Barry. Good ball to Abadawi. Nice spacing right now for North Carolina FC.
Good patient play from Ben Spees there. You can see the Charleston back line really holding a line to try and squeeze the play, condense it, take away those spaces from these tidy North Carolina attacking midfield players, because they know Lomas, pace-wise, isn't going to threaten too much in behind. But Ben Spees very patient there, looking to build. North Carolina trying to find that rhythm.
Hearing the voice of Andrew Tate joining me in the booth tonight. I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with you across the globe on ESPN Plus and here in the Triangle on WRAL2. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for North Carolina FC and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Great ball played down the right side. Gadula will get to it. Gadula will bounce off of Barry, and it'll be a corner kick Charleston.
And there's a lot of work for those outside midfielders, forwards. Barry, you could see, he knew he had to make that run, and he hesitated for a second and allowed Gadula to go. And then he has to make a real sprint to get back in there. But did his job, prevented the ball in the box, but now a corner for the Battery to get on the end of.
That was a shot there of Michael Anhauser moments ago. Now a shot of the great fans for North Carolina FC. Ebony Christmas in there. Always recognize her and all these great fans as we say hello to each and every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Jasmine and Olive's corner kick for the visitors from Charleston. 0-0, 14 minutes in. Alex Tambakis got DJ Taylor in front of him, directing traffic. Pekka guarding the near post. One bounce, and it'll be sent back out of bounds. This time it'll be a throw-in. Good look at Zico Lewis, who is with the Bermuda national team, as he'll give it back to Gadula for the throw. Gadula will come all the way back now to Leland Archer, who is from Trinidad. Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, as Archer sends it back in. Pretty good ball. There's Donovan, spent 1 year at NC State. Comcia. Brilliant career for the North Carolina Tar Heels. For the Canadian Alex Comcia, who gets a start, as Dave Sarachan said, in a position that he's a little more comfortable with in the center of the park defensively.
Yeah, it's always tough. I think centre-back's going out wide.
Proke. Referee says good tackle in the back line as Proke goes down, sent right back in. Almost had another opportunity at it. Archer will head it. Ward comes over. Pretty good touch by Ward. Now he's going to get it far side to Barry. Barry's touch lets him down, and he's battling over there with Patterson. DJ Taylor. DJ Taylor's got his own fashion line now. The guy is hip. DJ Taylor back across. And it'll trickle through.
Dean, just going back to that, there was a moment there. Oh, here we go. Opportunity, what do we think? I mean, I feel like the first time I saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty, and I don't think there's enough there for the referee to call that there.
Select PT replay showing that it was close, but referee said ball first, so we'll keep going here. 16 minutes in, no score. This portion of the game brought to you by Wake Orthopedics. Nazmi Abadawi. Barry cutting back in. Barry looking for Spees. Still loose. Oh, and coming forward there, the loose ball for Proke. Knocked away, though. It'll be a corner kick, North Carolina FC.
Yeah, fantastic play from Barry, just cutting inside, flicks it with the outside of his foot to get a bit Spees there. I thought the keeper had it, but I think Spees had put enough pressure on to bobble. Proke follows it up, and the defender's there just to block the goal there and prevent what would have been a great start for NCFC.
Would have been the first career goal for that man from Duke. Another Jasmine and Olive's corner kick. Ben Spees will take it.
Look for the back post here, Dean. It's been open a few times in their set pieces.
Oh, Lomas on the back post was Donovan. Can he run it down? He can. He's got Pekka to help. Wellington Pekka with his right foot. Headed by Barry. Deflected away. It's all North Carolina FC right now, but they do not have a goal to show for it. Heavy possession, though, in favor of the home team.
Yeah, positive start. Charleston found themselves 2 goals down in the first half at home against Atlanta United 2. They won't want to be down there again. But for me, just looking at the corners, there was a goal that the Charleston Battery gave up at the weekend, where there's a ball to the back post and a couple of players completely wide open. And I've seen that as a big open space here early on.
Keep an eye out for that. It's Ben Spees taking the corners from both sides. Left hand in the air, right foot ready with his right foot. Driven in, far post, just like Andrew Tate called, but pounded out of there by Kuzminski. Sent back in by DJ Taylor. As the field is slanted right now in favor of the home team. Even the great fans with the Charleston Battery would agree with that sentiment, at least at the moment. They go long, trying to find Spees. Now it's cleaned up. Lewis will send a ball forward. Comcia in a foot race here with Daly. Nick Q. Daly. And a whistle far side will come back to North Carolina FC.
Yeah, comes here with a wry smile there. He loved that. He just kept himself in front of Daly, got the nudge in the back and the decision from the referee, because he was in a tough spot there. And it's a silly foul from Daly because he had the defenders, NCFC, tracking back, and tough to play out of that position. So off the hook there is NCFC.
Nick Q. Daly, a Jamaican. Good little international, kind of island international flair, I would say, to this Charleston team.
Irish flair, Dean?
Island.
Oh.
Island. Jamaica.
Oh, Ireland, I was going to say. I don't much flair coming from Ireland.
Yeah, no, island. As you think about Jamaica, Bermuda, you get it?
That's the island I want to visit.
Switch the other side for the Battery. A little push and a foul there for Spees. We'll slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, Coach Dave talked in before the game, Dean, about being patient. I felt that big ball that NCFC played out to the flank that then led to a counter-attack for Charleston. That's the sort of stuff I think he wants to try and cut out. A little bit more patient, a little bit more shorter at times, to try and just keep probing.
Right side to Gadula. Good tackle coming in. And Donovan will shred it out of bounds.
Yeah, Gadula getting into that wide right position. It's all ball, and it's a tackle that a centre-back you love to make.
The Battery into the 18. Knocked away there by Comcia Lewis. And Donovan laying out. Pekka laying out, and it's deflected, but really lucky right there. Good thinking by Donovan, just sacrificing his body. Otherwise, I think it's 1-0.
Yeah, he had all day there in the box, it seemed like. But Con Donovan showing why he's been signed here, putting his body on the line twice with a crunching tackle, and then blocking what was certainly going to be a goal.
So earlier it was North Carolina FC. The last couple minutes, it's been all Charleston, and the real Greek freak, as we call him, Alex Tambakis, will need to direct some traffic here as Gadula gets set for another throw-in for the Battery. 21 minutes in, no score. We are anticipating hydration breaks in each half per the new protocol. Of course, no fans still. This one's loose, and Tambakis as the near post ready. Couple balls have rode the right way, and the Battery have had a couple shots on frame.
Yeah, they're proving a handful, and this is the Battery. They're not going to go away easily. The North Carolina have a lot of the ball, but all it takes is one moment from the Battery, and you've seen there 2 or 3 moments where they could easily snatch the lead.
Kuzmensky play it over to Archer. Back to Kuzmensky, and they'll build it out of the back. A win today for North Carolina FC, and they get right back in second place, looking up at Birmingham Legion FC, who has put some distance between the rest of that 4-team group in Group G. Pushing forward is Van Schaik. Loose ball in the middle. Cleaned up by Donovan. He'll use Taylor. Here comes North Carolina FC. Spees. Good sprint. Good turn there by Pekka.
You see the Battery just quite happy for NCFC to have possession, especially in this middle area of the pitch where they're not really causing any problems.
Good idea by Barry, thinking Abadawi, but a little short. Abadawi clipped right there, and the whistle will come back to North Carolina FC. If you zone in on the back of the jersey for North Carolina FC, you see Mako Medical. They have been amazing with the testing and the COVID protocol and everything they've done to make sure each and every one of us that are here at Wake Met Soccer Park tonight are safe, but more importantly, the players and the staff for North Carolina FC. We tip our hat to the great folks at Mako Medical.
It's off the square ball from DJ Taylor, picked off, and that's when the Battery's looking to come alive and really pounce on those spaces. They're an athletic side, and they'll look to get off to the races quickly, but North Carolina just have to be careful in possession. A little bit tidy, a little bit more patient.
Barry over to Spees, and Spees will get a whistle. Free kick opportunity, Alpaca style. An Alpaca free kick coming up for North Carolina FC.
Yeah, Ben Spees using his body well there. Shorter player in stature, but he gets his body in there, gets facing the right way. Defender trying to challenge from the wrong side. Referee makes the right call here. Now, opportunity to really kind of stamp their authority in this final third. Start generating a little bit more of those attacks that we saw in the first 15 minutes, which have kind of subsided now. So be patient, get the players in the right spots, and try and work those opportunities.
Good look at Kuzmensky in goal for the Battery. Assistant coach for the Charleston Battery. We'll give you a look after this opportunity at him and tell you his story as this one comes all the way. As that one rolls out of bounds, let's go over to the bench for the Charleston Battery, because sitting right next to Michael Anhauser is Dusty Hudak. I broke into broadcasting as the voice of the Colorado Rapids, and Dusty Hudak was a goalkeeper for the Colorado Rapids. He then went to Charleston Battery, a big-time goalkeeper for the Battery, and he, like Michael Anhauser, stayed around and has been part of their coaching staff.
Dean, somehow you know everybody somewhere. You know what I mean? There's someone in every corner of the world I think you run into or you know.
Well, I know I said island, not Irish as well.
that's your accent. I'm struggling with that, Dean.
Long ball here as Ward with his left foot sends it over to Barry. Ward, now Abadawi. Kamsia. DJ Taylor.
That's better.
Spees has Proke in front of him. Goes for Lomas, handled by Archer.
And that's the type of stuff that's going to really frustrate Coach Dave Sarkin there. Good build-up, get into the final third, breaking behind the fullbacks, and then that final ball where you're just looking for that moment of quality, and that's really, some of the play has been great, I think, the first 5 games, but just at times when you really need that composure, that bit of quality, it's been lacking, and that's why NCFC has not scored more than a goal a game at this point in time.
A little bit of communication there between Donovan and Daly, and I don't think it involved where they're eating tonight. Back over to Proke. Great ball to Spees. Proke's touches have been there. Lomas touch let him down. Transition. Speedy Lewis. Donovan's going to use Tim Bacchus. 26 minutes in. Let's go to Andrew Tate for his thoughts. First on the home team, North Carolina FC.
You can see they're still struggling with that rhythm, but when it's there, when you see the passes interlinking and players moving off and little clever touches, it's really good to watch. It's finding that final ball, that final touch, a bit of quality. We have a good chance from Proke from the header. That's what's going to be needed here for North Carolina. I think multiple goals is going to be required to get the 3 points today. For the Battery, they're doing, I think, what I expected, battening down the hatches, defending for their lives.
Good ball over to Lomas from Taylor, and you can finish your thoughts on the Battery.
Yeah, and then just looking to break with the pace, the creativity, the power. They've got long throws, so I'm looking for them to ask a few more questions at times. They've probably had the better of the chances, I would say, apart from Proke. So I think Charleston, game plan-wise, going according to plan. I think NCFC, Coach Dave Sarkin, looking for more quality in the final third and then more prolonged build-up, I would say.
Walking you up to minute 28. North Carolina FC suffering a tough loss here on Saturday night, 2-0 to Birmingham Legion. This after 2 1-0 wins. They beat Birmingham Legion here at WakeMed Soccer Park. They had the advantage of playing a player up, as former North Carolina FC player Bolu Akinyodi got a red card in that game, and then Fortune scored, and then they went down to Memphis, and Akeem Ward, we showed you that goal in the open, scored. So since coming back after the delay because of this terrible pandemic, a tie, 2 wins, and then their first loss on Saturday, they will head to Charlotte on the 26th to take on the Charlotte Independents, and then they'll have Memphis back here on the 29th. That's right, on the 29th, Memphis will be here. And of course, there's always that chance that maybe Tim Howard will make the trip. That would be neat.
Yeah. Shame we won't have the fans in to see that, Dean. You know?
Ward to Lomas, and Lomas is held up right there. There were 2 players back there, so I don't think it'll be a red, but I do believe it will be a yellow, as he did have a player next to him, and good call right there. Yellow, just call, as Kelly was hanging on to Lomas.
I think that should be a blue card there, Dean. That's where yellow doesn't seem enough, and red's probably too harsh. I don't quite know what happens after the blue card, but yellow just is one of them. Like, the defender's happy with that, the forward's not, and it's always questionable, is the defender going to get there or not on the other side. So.
Yeah, good work by Lomas, and Kelly did have the benefit, though, of having his defenders step with him, maybe just 10 feet away, but back there with him, so it was not the last line that happened to Bolu Akinyodi a few weeks ago right here at WakeMed Soccer Park. Now getting ready to take the Alpaca free kick is Ben Spees. There's Coach Anhauser. New ownership, new stadium for the Charleston Battery. Certainly a beautiful part of the country. Charleston, South Carolina, outstanding place to visit and live. Spees over the ball. Spees, good ball driven in. He had Lomas and he had Donovan. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off in spring 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. On the attack, the Battery. Cleaned up by Ward. Ward will send it deep. Look at Proke just pluck it out of the air. Proke, the Italian. He's a little bit like Andrew Tate in that he's a media superstar. The guy writes, he's got a blog, he does broadcast work, he can do it all, Andrew.
I didn't know where you were going there when you said he was like me, that team. I was thinking I couldn't be further from the truth. And it probably still is, but I take the compliment, Dean. Thank you, sir.
31st minute, still no score. Not on the same page at that time, Barry and Taylor.
That's great defending back there from Akeem Ward a minute ago. It was a real promising opportunity for Charleston, and he did a really good job of tidying it up and getting the ball into Proke there.
So this is the Chala Law Office hydration break. We thank Chala Law and all the great sponsors for North Carolina FC and the great work Kyle Prairie and Santiago have done with our sponsors. Hey, Andrew Tate, I mentioned a couple years ago that North Carolina FC thought they were going to get the winner in the final seconds right here. It went viral. Let's sit back and listen. Take a look. Cipollani. Open on the far side is Blanco. Cipollani goes this side to Rios. Rios can finish. Rios back across, loose, still loose. Drop. Oh my, cleared. Becker's got it. Back again. Cipollani. Oh, off the post. Still loose.
What in the world? That was wild. Look at this. Rios does a great job. Hips swivel and puts it in off the back of a defender. Iwolo has an opportunity. Cipollani blocked. Comes back to Cipollani, I think, here. Yep, off the post from Cipollani. Then it bounces around again.
Hits the post. And finally cleared out of there.
You've never seen a combination like that. I've never seen anything like that.
Wow, the Oak City supporters, the Boneyard, they were shocked. They couldn't believe that one didn't go in, Andrew.
No, you could see the players just sprawled out on the ground, and you're smiling, I'm smiling. We've probably seen it a million times. It's a great clip and great defending, great commentary from Jason as well, I got to say, to keep his composure, and what a crazy set of circumstances.
I feel like perhaps each and every one of the great folks we just saw there on the big screen watching on were probably sitting right behind that goal thinking that they were going to go absolutely crazy if they could put one in. But as you said, it wasn't just North Carolina FC after that final whistle. The Charleston Battery, they all just laid down, right?
Oh, unbelievable. Just the emotion of just that one moment, let alone the 90 minutes that were involved along with that, you know.
So much history in this matchup. Want to thank our co-executive producer, Brian Ware, for all his great research, get us up to date on that 7-3-5 record, and that little nugget about it's been since 2009 North Carolina FC's been able to take down the Charleston Battery. Here's Proke. Daniele Proke played for John Kerr Jr. and the Duke Blue Devils after 1 year at Catawba College. Spees give it over to Abadawi. Abadawi trying to find Barry. Barry's on. Oh, he's not. His far side assistant referee waited just a little bit. I thought he was going to let it go.
Yeah, I think the referee decided he was going to make that call because it looked clear to everyone. Not quite sure what the linesman was waiting for, but the correct decision.
Yeah, you're right. He was off. Going the other way is Charleston coming off that hydration break. Lewis is in. Lewis's touch. Got away from him, sends it back though, pretty good ball, dangerous, dancing with it. Taylor does not dive in. Great defensive work there by DJ Taylor.
Airy moments for NCFC. Great play from Lewis, crafty little touch, and then an incredible ball to the back post. I think if we could go back and do that again, I think Piggott would probably want that chance over again to maybe try and hit it first time.
So Andrew, somebody asked me the other day, they were talking about the notion that 5-minute cue, where first 5 minutes of each half is always big, first 5 minutes after a goal is always big. And then it did point out, you know what? The first 5 minutes after this now mandatory hydration break is huge.
Yeah, I'd like to see the stats on that. I know in the Premier League and the Bundesliga, there's a lot of talk about goals scored after the break, because it's like a timeout, and a lot of coaches have talked about that. Can we get timeouts in soccer when they're watching the NBA and hockey and all that good stuff? So it's certainly played a factor. It's changed the game a little bit.
Here's Barry. Barry, little step over. Looking for Lomas. Handled by Archer. You mentioned tidy and neat. I will say the center backs for the Battery are really tidy and neat. They make the game look easy.
Yeah, and they've got the North Carolina attacking players all around them causing all types of problems, but they've swept up and mopped up well at the moment. Looking at Barry though, I look at him and there's a lot of tricks and flicks and things, but I'm looking for just a little bit more direct play from him at the times rather than the 10 step overs. I think just go at him, one trick, and use your pace, use your strength, and really ask a question physically of your opposite number. As a slow, unathletic player, Dean, looking at someone with all the attributes that I wished I had, I would just push it and go. And that's what sometimes is frustrating about some of these players. You see all the talent they've got and what they can do, and it doesn't always come out.
Gadula runs into Pekka.
I wouldn't recommend that for anybody.
No. Pekka, when the team needed it against Birmingham Legion FC, had a brilliant tackle and one that added a little fire to a team that needed to get going. They still were not able to put any in the back of the net, but there for a while they were pushing, and it started with Pekka. In fact, we named Pekka the man of the match. Presented by Coastal Credit Union. Good pressure from Lomas, but cleaned up by the Battery. I want to thank Larry's Coffee again and all the great sponsors of North Carolina FC. Charleston Battery pushing forward. They drop it now to Cicero. Very number 13, Cicero. It's now played back to Patterson. Sent all the way across. And Ward gets to it before it finds Daly. Akeem Ward, as you mentioned, played for Birmingham Legion FC a year ago. Heartbreak City, knocking North Carolina FC out of the playoffs right here at WakeMed Soccer Park. And a massive pickup for Kurt Johnson and Dave Sarakin and the entire organization to bring in Ward.
Yeah, I remember that game well, Dean. I remember him cutting in off the left side, hitting a bomb across the goal, and Tambak is parrying it. And then one of the Birmingham Legion putting it in at the far post, which was a big goal because got them right back in it.
Yeah, late game heroics from the former Kentucky star Walker, who is now stepped up and playing in MLS. DJ Taylor deflects it. It'll be a corner kick Charleston. Aetna is a CVS health company. Together they are transforming the healthcare experience. They provide nearly 47 million people with innovative benefit options to help them on their path to better health. Aetna offers a range of traditional, voluntary, and consumer-directed health products. These include medical, pharmacy, dental, vision, and behavioral health plans. To learn more, go to Aetna.com. Getting set for the Jasmine and Olives corner kick is the Charleston Battery. Over the ball is Robbie Crawford. Dave Sarakin singled him out as a player to watch. That's a pretty good ball, far post, off the head of Abadawi.
Charleston setting up with that big scrum in the box. This hasn't really proven to bring anything to fruition, but it certainly looks a bit worrying when the ball's out wide and you see these big bodies for the Battery in the box, and just haven't quite been able to peel away and get that open opportunity on goal.
Throw in for the Battery. You know, Andrew, why you were making fun of me for knowing everybody. After Dusty Hudock, the Colorado Rapids brought in Chris Woods, who I feel like you would know pretty well, former English national teamer.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper. Yeah, I remember very well. Not too bad.
He was kind of on vacation, admittedly, in Colorado. I'm not going to lie. He was kicking back with Roy Wegerle, having a good time. As you see Donovan get in the middle of it.
Well, that's me, Dean. I moved here in 2003. I'm still on holiday, I think. Living the dream. That was great defending from Comcia there. He's taking a leaf out of Connor Donovan's book there. You know, being very, very brave. There's a boot in his face and bodies in the box, and showing why he's got the nod tonight.
Just 1 year at NC State. Nazmi Abadawi at NC State. You think about what George Kiefer is building at NC State. He's put the Wolfpack in the NCAA tournament in back-to-back years, returning the glory days of the Wolfpack, I would say.
Yeah, they're certainly competitive. As an outsider moving to the area, I always felt that, sadly, I'm going to upset some Wolfpack fans, I think, here, that UNC and Duke were the stronger, more athletic programs that seem to have more of the success. But NC State should be right up there with them for me, and they're certainly returning to be competitive and right up there.
Well, last year, NC State would point to the scoreboard as the team that did more. Indeed, is a rare time for North Carolina to not even make the NCAA tournament. Here's Barry.
This is better.
We'll square it to Spees. Spees, Proke right at the edge of the line as they give it to Lomas. Lomas has Proke in the 18, Spees on the edge of the 18. Barry's also over there, but they'll reset through Taylor. Calling for it is Donovan. Donovan's got Ward to his left. A little pressure there from Lewis and a pretty good tackle. And Donovan way out of sorts. The number's phenomenal here for the Battery. They drop it in front. A chance for the Battery. Cutback, spinning, Comcia in, and Tambakis, the big one. What a save from Alex Tambakis.
Wow. What a question asked by the Charleston Battery and answered by Tambakis. He stayed big. You call him the Greek freak, and he showed why. He looked absolutely huge there as Daly got the opportunity on goal. Donovan just getting caught. He's looking for that pass. It wasn't there. And then you see the numbers breaking for Charleston. Great play from Daly. He's twisting Comcia inside out. And then Tambakis making himself so big. And what a save that is. And that could be huge now, because that first goal, I think, would really damage North Carolina's confidence. They know they haven't scored more than a goal in a game this season. And that would really dig a hole for them.
I think even Chris Woods would appreciate that save right there. Your goalkeeper's got to come up with one or two big saves each half. Check the box right there for Tambakis, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, it's hard because you think he's going to go low. So as a keeper, you're looking to get down there. But Tambakis stayed big. He stayed true to his instincts. And that's like a goal in itself, him keeping that ball on the back of the net. But the game just sort of shifting a little bit in the Battery's favour. It was a really promising 15 minutes for NCFC. The Battery, I'd say, much more happy with the way the game's going. They're getting the North Carolina back four to drop and play in those spaces, whereas NCFC struggling to really get a grip of the game. They're almost being bullied at times in and around that Battery back line. Can't quite get the crispness and speeds and intricacy to break through. A little too slow, Dean, at times.
Abadawi. Abadawi. Spees spins around on it. Tackle over here. They'll say off of Ward.
You see, it's a disciplined defensive performance from the Battery. They're not allowing the tidy NCFC attacking players to get in and around the back four They're limiting and isolating them. When Proke's getting the ball 1v1, that's not his game, to be going at somebody with speed. He needs that support and those players to bounce 1-2s off and double passes and be able to play. And they're doing a really good job in the battery of stifling those attacks and then being able to now come on the front foot and now ask questions of North Carolina.
We'll have some added time because of that hydration break. For the most part, it's been pretty clean here, though. Well officiated, well played by both teams. Proke gets undercut and he goes down. Hopefully he's okay.
Proke doing well. The other night when he came on, Dean, I felt he won a lot of free kicks. You know, for a little man, he gets himself into positions, and they're doing a good job of getting the decision from the referee. Painful one, but needed for NCFC to slow it down a little bit and just gain a little bit of composure. Oh, you can see it's just his landing there. I thought he got stamped on or something. Not stamped on, but landed on.
No, really, yeah, there wasn't a whole lot there.
No.
I think a good decision not to give a card is Robbie Crawford didn't do a whole lot.
No. Just landed on the ankle, I think, there. Not a comfortable one.
Great ball from Proke. We got 2 minutes of added time. That's about how long the hydration break was, and that was really our only major stoppage. They'll play it back together with Taylor. So one of our Oak City supporters, Sterling, says that we need to come up with a new nickname for Alex Tambakis. I'm all for that. You give me one, we'll go with it. Of course, the Milwaukee Bucks superstar is the original Greek Freak. In fact, Alex Tambakis knows that family really well. They're super famous, all of those boys playing in the NBA. So let's see what they come up with. We're going to put that back on the great Oak City supporters. That work for you, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I feel you've done a pretty good job, Dean. We've just, you know, copy and pasting, but it fits. It fits. So yeah, it's one of them. The challenge is there. Can you come up with something better? Then I think we're all for it, right?
There he is. We'll see what they're doing. See if they'll all send one in now. We're ready to go with it. We got some pretty good outfits there too, as well, with the fan base.
It's a very eclectic mix, the North Carolina fans. That's for sure. We've got some great characters.
Outstanding fans, and they have been fully invested since day one.
And that's it. They're the lifeblood of the club, aren't they? The hardcore, live and die, the soccer club, through thick and thin.
Looking for Ward on the left side as we are almost done with these 2 minutes of added time. The Battery could have a run here. Here they go. Keep an eye on the right side as number 21 is waiting for it, Kelly. And that'll come all the way across, and that should do it. We'll see if the referee takes a look at his watch. He does, and 45 minutes, Southern Derby, zeros at the half. Quick thought on the first 45, Andrew Tate.
I think it's fair scoreline. Both teams have had chances. I think this is probably a good halftime, I think, for NCFC. They've got a lot of firepower on the bench. Cristo, Perez, Miller. I'd be looking for these guys to come in the second half and really make an impact.
Alex Tambakis, though, without question, the save of the game. Go ahead and rack that as the Coastal Credit Union save of the game. Hard to get better than that. Part of the reason we're at zeros. North Carolina FC, Charleston Battery, USL Championship. No score after 45.
We see you, doing your part by looking out for all of us. And though you may have lost sight of your own well-being, Aetna never did. By setting up virtual monitoring for chronic patients, 24-hour telemedicine visits, and mental health resources for everyone, we're always here to help you focus on your health. Because it's always time for care.
In North Carolina, we get up before the sun rises and stay up into the wee hours of the night. We believe in working hard and playing harder. Behind every meal, there's a farmer, and behind every farmer, there's got to be NC, the official state identity program for North Carolina agricultural products. Look for the Got to Be NC logo wherever you shop or eat, and you'll know you're getting a quality product grown, raised, caught, or made in North Carolina.
Baker Roofing was founded in 1950, and for over 100 years, our guiding principle has been always good work. Through the years, we've honed the craftsmanship and artistry it takes to create a roof that looks great and stands the test of time. Our crews bring decades of experience to each project, and we draw on that experience to ensure our work meets or exceeds expectations. At Baker Roofing, we will always do good work.
Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.
Wednesday night soccer USL Championship style halftime presented by Aetna. It's North Carolina FC 0 and the Charleston Battery 0. Alongside Andrew Tate, I'm Dean Linke. Big news, the Deleuze. Their baby has arrived as we shout out to the great number 6, Austin Deleuze. That's big news, Andrew Tate, you just broke there.
Yeah, it's great. I'll get a little worried. I know when these things run a little bit long, you never quite know. And as a father myself, Dean, like you, it's scary time. So great news to hear that the baby's here, and hopefully mother and baby are healthy and looking forward to going home in a few days. Knowing
Austin Deleuze, he had an eye on this one. In your words, what has he seen so far in the first 45?
Oof. I'm trying to think. Hopefully seen lots of good chances and creativity from some of his former teammates. It's an entertaining game. Obviously the scoreline 0-0 never looks very appetizing, but it's great to see sort of opportunities at both sides, at that typical derby. So we'll see what the second half brings.
He's also seeing the safety, USL Championship, USL League One. The safety has been off the charts. Let's take a look at what I'm talking about.
The USL is proud to bring professional soccer back into our communities and across the ESPN family of networks. Follow your local club and don't miss these exciting matches coming up on ESPN2 or ESPN Deportes.
Dr. Champus, the U.S. Soccer has recently instituted the Play On campaign. Try and explain what this looks like in the grassroots communities around the country all the way to the professional level.
Yeah, Mike, I think it starts first and foremost with each of our stakeholders, whether you're a club, a coach, a parent, a player. It starts with setting a tone. It starts with setting a culture. And really setting realistic expectations, understanding that COVID is a virus is going to be with us for an unknown amount of time. The guidelines are very basic and fundamental. What Play On has really created is a single voice and something that all of us can point to as a safe and responsible way that our kids can develop, continue to play the sport, can come together in a very responsible way under the guidance of local, state, and national guidelines that really can be one that highlights our sport across the country and in the world. And Play On has demonstrated, I think, over the last 2 months, a very consistent message, and that hasn't changed.
Dr. George Champus, Chief Medical Officer for U.S. Soccer, thank you for not only your time now, but also the work you and healthcare heroes around the country have done over the past months.
Always great work by the folks at USL Championship and USL Championship Productions. Our Aetna halftime report. It's North Carolina FC 0, Charleston Battery 0. Dean Linke with Andrew Tate. And you got to be looking at the standings, particularly in an abbreviated season. as we take a look at the standings, brought to you by CII. Keep in mind, Birmingham Legion FC, they got quite a few games in hand.
Yeah, so obviously Birmingham played 7, North Carolina got a few games to make up. It's going to be a busy 2 weeks for them. Starting next weekend, when they are going to, they're traveling to Charlotte, so they're going to play 4 games in 14 days. That's going to be a real tough test for North Carolina. But that group really finally poised between Charlotte and Memphis in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Birmingham Legion FC actually on 17 points. Of course, North Carolina FC suffering their 2nd loss as we push to the Chala Law scores from around the league. Take a look at some games. Phoenix Rising FC, they're always really good. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds, coached by Coach Lilly, they got a 2-0 lead over Loudoun United FC. And how about that? 4 goals, Miami FC and Atlanta United 2, Andy.
Yeah, Atlanta United 2 were involved in a 5-goal game with the very own Charleston Battery the weekend. So for them, struggling to keep the ball out of the net, but not doing too shabby on the other end with Mackie Diop scored at the weekend, and he's leading the line well for them.
Some people call it the USL News and Notes. We call it the B. Ware Report in honor of Brian Ware. He does such a great job. Career milestones this past weekend. Evan Newton for Martin Rennie, first to 50 career shutouts. That's a really good team, a team that could win the entire thing. And of course, you see Oasis, the 8th player to 50 career USL goals. Reno and Sacramento, they're tied atop Group A. Of course, Sacramento going to make the move to MLS, which USL Championship's done such a great job propping up so many teams. You see Sacramento scored 3 in the first half in that win over Tacoma. And Orange County surges up Group B standings as they defeated Landon Donovan's team and what used to be Eric Winalda's team last week, unbeaten in 2020, #1 in the USL Power Rankings. You know what? My favorite news and note, Andrew Tate, is just that we're playing again. Even under tough conditions, I wish the fans were here, but it's good to see him playing again.
Absolutely. And Coach Dave, when I asked him about coaching during a pandemic, his smile, his enthusiasm for the game, even coming off on a feet, his enthusiasm, the attacking players he's put out today, it's one of those where it's great to be in the stadium and great to have the opportunity to watch some soccer and see 2 teams compete for what's a beautiful trophy down below me.
There it is, that trophy right there on the line. Who's going to take it, North Carolina FC or Charleston Battery? We'll have more of the Aetna Halftime Report after this message.
Select Physical Therapy is focused on patient safety now more than ever before. Select's centers remain open and offer a safe environment for you to receive physical therapy services. You don't need a doctor's referral to begin care and start feeling better today. Select Physical Therapy also offers telerehab, so you can easily connect with a licensed therapist through web-based technology that is HIPAA compliant, right from the comfort of your home. Visit selectphysicaltherapy.com to schedule an appointment. Select Physical Therapy, the power of physical therapy.
How's it going?
Good. I'm just working on some IRB stuff.
Your office, wherever you are. Let's make working from anywhere work for you.
There's a special place just for kids, where inpatient, outpatient, and children's emergency care comes from people who love what they do, almost as much as who they do it for. WakeMed Children's. Your kids, your choice.
Selling your home often comes at a cost. Many realtors charge commissions of 6%, which seriously cuts into your profits. But with Daymark Realty, part of Coastal Credit Union, you can sell for an unbelievably low commission rate of 4.5%. Plus, professional staging and photography are included. Find out how Daymark and Coastal have saved members millions in fees and offer a better way to bank.
Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.
Welcome back to the Aetna Halftime Report. You see the scoreboard right there. North Carolina FC and Charleston Battery zeros. Dean Linke with Andrew Tate. Delighted to be with you here at WakeMed Soccer Park, Salem Stadium, under tough conditions. Real quick, Dave Sarakin's message to his team at the half.
Got to try and be a little bit more aggressive, I think, with the back line, trying to squeeze the play, win the ball back earlier, break, and then really that composure, that quality, that confidence that needs to come. I think they just need a ball to break, a goal, and who knows, the floodgates could unlock.
Let's go to work and show you the Continental Tire first half highlights. Take it away, Andrew.
Yeah, so early on, I think there was some good play from North Carolina FC, especially in the first 15 minutes. Here was a great chance from local Duke University product, Daniele Proke. Gets up really well, rising like a salmon, just can't quite get that extra couple of inches to get over the top of it. And then here we see Haji Bari twisting and turning, slips in Ben Spees with the outside of his boot, and the goalkeeper fumbles it, and then Proke was following up, trying to keep it down on target, but a Charleston Battery defender was there to block and batten down the hatchet to make sure that the scores remain locked at 0-0.
Well, you could feel it from Proke. He thought it was going to go in. And then how about this sitter for Lewis, who was on the USL Team of the Week, and Donovan stretching out.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. There was a great tackle right before this from Donovan, and here it felt like Lewis had an eternity to control and shoot, but Donovan came up huge. And then a great chance here. You know, DJ Taylor getting down the right. We saw it a few times. His final ball just wasn't quite there, but this is what we need to see more. A little give and go with Proke, and then just Lomas can't quite get his body around it. Maybe a little pass just slightly behind him. That final ball that we talk about, Dean, just not quite on the money like it needs to be. And this was a great chance for the Battery going the other way. They sort of sat in there, laid the traps. Donovan fell into it. They break here, and it's Daly twisting and turning Comcia inside out. And then, as we've seen many times before, Alex Tambakis coming up huge in what was a massive moment in that first half to keep it 0-0.
What a save. Very chic. That is the word. He is the Greek Sheik, or the Sheik Greek. Either way, that's what we're going with from now on, as we thank the great fan base for North Carolina FC. That's probably the toughest part about having your headsets on. You can't hear the incredible songs, but they've been singing about the Sheik Greek forever, so that's what we're going with. So assist to you. And here's the updated standings. Birmingham Legion FC with that win on Saturday. They've at 17. North Carolina FC, if they can get 3 today, Andrew, even you can figure out that'll put them in second place.
Yeah, that'd be huge going into that game against the Independents in a few days' time. So that would be a massive result to kind of set up that four-game stint over 14 days.
I got to give our fan base credit because they did not copy and paste. Sheik Greek, that works for me. You know what else works? That save was huge.
Yeah, that was the biggest moment, I think, in the first half from both teams. You know, Daly did so well to get inside Comcia after the break from the Battery. They had 5-on-2, and then it was 1v1 with the goalie. And Tambakis, that's why he's so huge for this team, because last year he was phenomenal. I think he was unlucky not to get goalkeeper of the year, to be honest.
Second half underway. North Carolina FC back out there in their home blues. The Charleston Battery in their visiting whites. You've seen glimpses of that Southern Derby trophy. The winner of this one will keep that cup. So a little extra on the line here in this battle between the Charleston Battery and North Carolina FC. Charleston Battery, they're dangerous here. Daly again, and once again, the Sheik Greek, Alex Tambakis with the save.
We're going to be hearing that a lot, I think, Dean.
What a save.
Yeah, huge again, absolutely huge. To go down so early in the second half after just making a little change themselves to hopefully try and propel them forward, that would have been a real dagger in the heart.
And both times, if I'm correct, it was Nick Q. Daly in on Tambakis, and he comes up big.
Yeah, massive, absolutely massive. Stays big, there's one of those you can go down early. I think Daly probably should do better there, but I'm never going to take credit away from Tambakis. It's a shot on target, and he's done well to get away from the danger and keep the scores tied at 0.
One more save like that, and he will be on the USL Team of the Week. Talking about Alex Tambakis. Dre Fortune has come in for Daniele Proke. So Proke, a solid shift, though. I thought he did some good things for Dave Sarakin.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a player with great talent. I think we'll see a lot more to come from him in the coming weeks and months and years, hopefully. But obviously, Dre Fortune will be keen to stamp his mark on the game. I'm sure he'll be disappointed not to start today, and hopefully he's coming in with a point to prove.
Booted long to midfield as you see Dre Fortune. And that'll roll out of bounds. Fortune with a couple goals on this young season, and goals have been at a premium for North Carolina FC as they've only scored 4 on the season. There's DJ Taylor. He'll find Ben Spees. Fortune was open for a minute. Spees will keep it. Spees, trip from behind. They'll play on as he goes to Lomas, and Lomas will dribble into trouble. They'll bring it back. I like this decision from the referee.
Yeah, looking to play advantage. You never want to see referees being whistle happy. Looking to play advantage. No advantage. Let's bring it back and acknowledge the free kick. Just a little late. Ben Spees not appreciating that one. But you've got to expect that in a derby, Dean.
Abadawi over to Fortune. Fortune across. Oh my, so close. I think Kuzminski may have put a paw on it to deflect it. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at it as part of our select PT replay when we get a chance. But Fortune, who has been on the opposite end of balls like that, almost snuck one through. The Battery going the other way. They've got numbers. Little chip there and out of bounds. Let's go back to that last opportunity from Dre Fortune as he put it across.
Yeah, what an amazing few minutes we've had to start the game. Dre Fortune doing everything right, sliding across the back post. Kuzminski definitely gets a tip on the ball there, preventing that back post tapping for NCFC. Huge touch. And then we got to go in the other way. Charleston Battery looking like they were going to get the first one. Just a poor finish from the Battery there. Another good opportunity for them. You wonder who's going to get the first goal today.
At halftime, it was 0-0, and that halftime score, I want to remind you, was brought to you by Wake Ortho. Voted as the Raleigh's best orthopedic clinic, Wake Ortho is proud to serve the Wake County community. To learn more, to request an appointment, visit wakeortho.com. And that scoreboard remains the same, still zeros as Dre Fortune is in there now. Fortune on the ball.
Yeah, and bringing Fortune in, Dean, it's going to allow Al Badawi to play a little bit further forward. So him coming in for the first start in a while, give him a little bit more freedom now.
On the ball, driving down is Piggott. Back now the end line. Piggott trying to get back to it before he can get there, though. Alex Comcia sends it away. And it's early here, but I feel like this second half is wide open already.
I feel we've had as many chances as we had in the first half condensed in the 5 minutes of the second half. It's been incredible. I'm going to go out on a limb here, Dean, and say I think we're going to get a goal in this game.
I like that. I like it a lot. Ben Spees.
But worrying for NCFC is just how open they are on the break. That's 2 or 3 times already in the second half that they've just been cut through like a knife through butter. That they need to really tighten up and be a bit more disciplined, especially it seems to be in that quick transition when they lose it that the Battery are off to the races.
Barry's on it now. Fortune will show. They'll bring it back to Ward. Pekka came over in support. Instead, they'll go to Donovan. Donovan had some big tackles, but he also had it ripped away, and if not for the Sheik Greek, Alex Tambakis, it'd be 1-0, and Donovan would be upset. Short of that, though, Donovan has been a rock back there at center back. Here's Daly again. Nick Q Daly. Nick Q spinning players. Picked up there by DJ Taylor, and Daly goes down. He'll go out of bounds. We'll see if Daly's okay. Referee's going to check on him.
Yeah, I'm just feeling for the North Carolina back four. Connor Donovan and Alex Comcia. It's going to be a long night chasing down Daly, Piggott, and Lewis. They just will not stop running, and they're not lacking in pace.
51st minute. Let's take a look at this play here by Daly.
Ooh, yeah, Pekka, I think, leaving his mark as he does. The stamp of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Barry, good squared ball to Spees. He's got Taylor making a run from that right back spot. Not the best ball, but Taylor cleans it up anyway. DJ Taylor, he'll square it. He's got this combination with Fortune, but Fortune was way behind the ball. Here's Fortune now. Fortune will clean it up. Over to Barry. Barry, little move. Barry, so quick. One more pass. Taylor across. Nobody home. 3-4 blue jerseys, and it squirted through all of them.
It's better though, Fortune. You can see already he's getting on the ball, getting those little intricate plays, bouncing balls off player, and that's what I like from Barry there. I don't mind him taking extra touches in that area. When he gets isolated 1v1, he's got to be more direct for me. But there, clever play. Just looking for that shot on goal.
Ward back on his left foot. Ward driven. It'll be a throw in, North Carolina FC. Zeros here against the Charleston Battery.
So I think for all the play and the clever little bits of possession, we really haven't seen Kuzminski make a save, to be honest, Dean, and that's, I think, will be disappointing for the coaching staff of NCFC.
Don't be surprised if you see a ton of the North Carolina FC fans that we have shown you on the screen also tuning in for that game against Charlotte. And if there was any chance at all that Charlotte let fans in, they would be there. They have traveled quite a bit. Obviously, this pandemic changes the game, but we want to remind you that we will be back at WakeMed Soccer Park when they take on Memphis 901 FC on August 29th. The next home game right here at WakeMed Soccer Park in Salem Stadium. Played here to Nasby Abadawi. Now DJ Taylor. Taylor. Good sliding tackle coming in, kept alive by Lomas. Lomas will probably have another 20 minutes or so, and then Robbie Cristo will be ready to come in, as the injured player right now for the Battery is number 20, A.J. Patterson.
Yeah, it was a great block. They scrambled back to stop the cross from DJ Taylor. I think in the meantime, maybe got a bit of a whack for his troubles. Yeah, you see it, DJ Taylor really scampering down the right side. Patterson does really, really well to get back there, but I think it was just the follow-through from Taylor that just catches him there.
No comment.
You saw something else, didn't you?
A little bit of eye watering going on, and we mentioned Mako Medical earlier. I want to thank them again. As you see, they're sponsoring this portion of the game, as there's a look at Mike Anhauser, known as Augie, along with Dusty Hudak, two of the coaches for the Battery. And it looks like Patterson going to take a deep breath, gives the thumbs up, and he's back there ready to go. Ward. Overlapping run. Little move inside. Good work from Abadawi. Trying to find Lomas loose. First time in it is the left back, Ward. He is always up there and dangerous.
It's better though from NCFC. They didn't look like had enough bodies in the box, but somehow great little play from Abadawi to create the opportunity, and Lomas, I think, was just a boot away from getting on the end of that.
Fortune. Not enough for Lomas. The counter is on for the Battery as it finds Chichero, wearing number 13. He's going to make a great run after giving that up. He's got his hand in the air. He wants it. They almost found him. Open player, and it's in. Just like that. Chichero, they didn't get it to him, but Piggott did, and it's 1-0 Battery.
Yeah, it was that first ball, I think, from Van Schaik into Chichero that just, he got turned and was able to play the ball out to Piggott on the right. And then we've seen it a few times in the opening 10 minutes here. It's been a real problem for NCFC now having to scamper back. It was Lewis with the outside of the left foot playing it to the back post. And there, Piggott scoring the goal. He's had a lot of shots this season. I think he's led the team in shots on goal. Finally gets his goal in the season, and it's I've got to say, I think thoroughly deserved for Charleston Battery based on how they've attacked the second half.
You called it right though, because it was Chichero that got it to Lewis, and he made the run. He drew in the players, which then opened up the space for Piggott, and Piggott scored. But Andrew, you called it right, because starting that entire play was number 13, and after the pass, I'll tell you what, as a coach, it's a thing of beauty. You make the pass, don't sit and watch it, go ahead and make a run.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's been the big thing for me. You look at the numbers that the Battery are getting into the attack, onto the back four of NCFC, and you can see they're struggling to deal with the problems that they're causing. On the flip side, you can see how hard NCFC is having to work just to create those opportunities, the nutmegs, the great little 1-2s just to get around and get some bodies in there. But it's just how competitive and aggressive and athletic this Battery side is. They're a real handful.
Abadawi dropped a Berry. Almost with the answer right there. Abadawi will get it back as it's 1-0. Back across, high in the air, and cleaned up by Kuzminski as the Charleston Battery have a 1-0 lead over North Carolina FC.
And you thought Barry was in, and then all of a sudden an outstretched leg comes flying to save the day.
And there's the man who started it and made that great run, number 13, Moro Chichero, who lists Norman, Oklahoma as his hometown. My eyes were on him, and I think perhaps the North Carolina FC defenders were also on him because they went to him, it went over his head and found Piggott, and as you said, Andrew, a quality finish from number 8.
Yeah, they've had those overloads often this evening, and you know, the last thing you want is a guy named Romario open at the back post. And Piggott, despite his lack of goals on the season, took that chance really, really well, and that could be a problem for NCFC. Not only now when they got down a goal, but Piggott's confidence is going to rise, and they've got the threat on the break of the Battery for the remaining half an hour or so here.
During this unprecedented time, Select Physical Therapy is focused on your safety while you heal from an injury or a chronic condition. As an essential component of healthcare, their centers remain open and offer a clean, safe place for you to receive care. Additionally, they now offer tele-rehab. The NCFC trusts Select Physical Therapy, and so can you. Right now, though, Pekka's team, North Carolina FC, trailing the Battery 1-0, which means if it ended right here, that cup would head back to Charleston. Daly was dangerous early, but was denied by Tambakis, but the goal coming by way of Lewis over to Romario Piggott, 1-0 Battery. Got to give you credit, Andrew. You, without a doubt, said a goal was coming, and indeed it did. And perhaps more here for the Battery. This one mishit, though, by Chichero. And
I've said that a few times, Dean. I've been wrong, though. So I felt it was an easy enough bet right now, early on in the second half, with the amount of chances created. I mean, I'd go out on a limb now and say that I think there's going to be another one. My concern for NCFC is I feel it's going to go in the favour of the Battery at the moment, because I think they're sitting so pretty on that 1-goal lead, and this sort of plays into their game plan. Get up ahead. NCFC is going to have to commit more bodies and get more attacking players on the field, and that opens them up even more on the counter-attack and the pace of Piggott and Lewis and Daly. It's not something I want to be dealing with myself.
Dave Sarakin, John Bradford, Mike McGinty, Nick Platter. The coaching staff does have players warming up now, as you see Dave Sarakin. That's Nick Platter on the bottom of your screen, as those are the Battery players warming up as well. Both teams have players warming up. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for North Carolina FC and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on North Carolina FC's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Patterson, the goal scorer, Piggott. Chichero, good little give and go back. Denied there by Comcia, and it falls right at the top of the 18 once again to Chichero, the 6'4", 180-pounder, and it was not on frame.
It's just the bodies you're getting in there. Comcia does so well to stop Crawford getting through that gap, but then as he defends it, it falls to It forces Chachero, and he's got another great opportunity, another great look at the goal. And I think that's really been a promising aspect of the game for the Battery. The number of bodies they get into the attack and how quickly they do it. It's a lot of work on the other side for NCFC to do that with the tidy players and the intricate play that they have to put together to cause a problem.
Lewis, brilliant left foot, but right to Tambakis, who will roll it over to DJ Taylor. This portion of the game brought to you by Wake Ortho, voted as Raleigh's best orthopedic clinic. To learn more or to request an appointment, visit wakeortho.com. Dre Fortune, Ben Spees. Fortune, overlapping run. Spees sends it back the other way, trying to find Barry. It'll be a corner kick. Corner kick, North Carolina FC.
I think Stephen Miller getting his instructions here, so that'll be possibly the first change. Manny Perez as well. That's an exciting one for me. I think this game is crying out for a bit of pace, I think, on the flanks to really kind of ask a question of the Battery. They're coming off the same amount of rest time as NCFC, and Perez is not a player. I think if you're a fullback right now, seeing him coming on and with fresh legs, it's not something you want to see on a warm August evening.
Taking the Jasmine and Olives corner kick is Spees. Can they equalize here? Donovan is usually a target for him. Flicked high. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in down into the corner flag for DJ Taylor and North Carolina FC. Good work there by Kuzminski. He put the ball and it'll come back to the Battery. They lead it 1-0, 64th minute.
Some guile. And I'm guessing maybe Al-Badawi, having not gone 90 minutes and being new, but at the same time, a lot's coming through him.
Pekka goes down. Dave Sarakin wants a card. For the moment, the referee, just a warning as Crawford walks away from his tackle.
I think there was I think Pekka's name was taken in the Charleston Battery's black book a few times in the first half, and there's been a bit of retribution dished out in the last 10 minutes.
The Alpaca free kick. North Carolina FC scores here. It's buy one, get half off. Alpaca Peruvian chicken. Sounds pretty tasty right about now. 65th minute. And so does an equalizer for North Carolina FC. Spees will go short, though, to Pekka. Pekka taking a look. He's got time. Trying to find Lomas. As Miller and Manny Perez getting ready to come in. Marini getting ready to come in for the Battery. Too tall for Taylor. And cleared out of there by the Battery. Just past the subs we're just talking about. And in the hands of Michael Anhauser, the longtime top man for the Battery. Dante Marini, wearing number 19. So it looks like Barry's going to come out. So Barry out of the game and Ben Spees. So you were half right.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Al-Badawi, he's been getting on the ball, he's been doing things. I'd hate to take the captain out right now when he's trying to lead his team back into the game, and he is getting on the ball and causing some problems. So I like that idea. A bit of fresh legs, a bit of enthusiasm, energy on the flanks, because I think that's where a lot's been asked of Ward and Taylor. So now we need to see Perez and Miller, fresh legs, go and get at the beat-up Battery defenders that have worked really hard all game.
Just got a text from Austin Deleuze, and when I first saw it, I thought it said I'm here, but instead it said he's here. I was like, how in the world is he already over here as well? But confirming the news we broke at halftime as part of our Aetna halftime report. He is here, and I know I speak for our talented VP of Broadcasting, Jorge Cunha, when I say well done, congratulations to the Deleuze family. I know I speak for the entire organization and all the great fans as well. Certainly a fan favorite, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm lifting the Derby Cup to Mr. Baby Deleuze.
67 minutes in. Ward, nice defensive work, but then knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with North Carolina FC. You can tell as on the big screen they show the fans watching on ESPN Plus, the great fans for North Carolina FC. You can just see it in their anguished faces. They are just hoping, praying for the equalizer so that they can celebrate.
That's the hard part as a fan, Dean. There's nothing they could do. I think even when they're in the stands, they sometimes feel there's nothing they can do, right? But to be credit to the North Carolina faithful, they're usually here banging a drum, doing everything they can to get their team back in it. But when you're sat at home, all you can do is bite your nails and scream at the TV and throw your water ball.
A few of them might need to, and again, we're under COVID protocol, but a haircut might be due. A little spin here by the Charleston Battery. Great speed. Once again, cutback, dangerous, squared. Cicero dropped over again. And once again, Tambakis keeping North Carolina FC in this one.
That back line getting shifted all the way over just due to the sheer number of bodies that they're getting in the attack very, very quickly. It's that back post space. Cicero, very great awareness there. And there, Patterson would like that one back. Tambakis coming up big. But I think Patterson's got to do more to steer it into the corner, because they could come back to haunt these chances. They've had a lot of chances. The fact they've only got one is a real kind of bonus for NCFC, because they're still in the game.
Driven around, loose, still dangerous for the Battery. They'll keep possession. Crawford hits it hard, and it's still those. There it is, another one. You said another one was coming in the Battery. I'll tell you, Nick Q was denied not once but twice, but third time is the charm. It's 2-0 Battery.
Yeah, really positive second half from the Battery. They may have just edged it in the first half on the balance of the quality of the chances they had, but in the second half you can't argue with the quality of chances they've had and the good looks at goal. The first ball just comes in, it bounces around. They've got the bodies there. They're alive to the second ball. It's a great ball to the back post, and NCFC are squeezing out. Not aware there of the player at the back post, and here it falls. Daly right inside the 6-yard box, right where you want your striker, and he does what he does best, tucking it home. Big goal. And this is the same spot NCFC found themselves at the weekend against Birmingham Legion, unable to dig themselves out of it.
Excellent point. 2-0 Birmingham Legion FC on Saturday and 2-0 Charleston Battery here on Wednesday. Still plenty of time. And remind everybody, it was 2-0 down in Tampa, and they came back and tied it. Then get one right here. Manny Perez was hoping to touch it to Lomas, but had to stop. Couldn't get a good touch on it.
That's 5 unanswered goals for the Battery in just over 100 minutes, I would say, which is a great bit of form for them. It shows the firepower they've got just waiting in the wings. But North Carolina have asked the questions. They just haven't been able to force the issue. And I wonder if the big man, Christo, could be the man to come on and just maybe mix things up a little bit. He's certainly good at forcing things.
Fortune trying to find Lomas.
I almost cursed him then, Dean. I was just going to say how good Van Schaik's been at the back on his 150th appearance for the Battery, and then he fluffed his lines with a pass inside.
Taylor over to Donovan. Now here's Ward. Hard tackle coming in, rolling around. Andrew Tate with North Carolina FC Youth. You heard me talk about Mako Medical and the amazing work they've done with the safety protocol for COVID. Well, not surprisingly, one of the key players behind that is somebody you know well. Gary Butte, arguably one of the top CEOs of youth soccer It's his beautiful and talented wife, Fane Butte, who has stepped up with Mako Medical. As you talked about, you always know somebody. It's good to know people like Fane Butte for sure. Taylor will send it across and knocked out of there. Fane Butte and Mako Medical, though, hats off for sure, Andrew Tate, as a hard foul coming in there by Pekka.
Yeah, you need clever, bright people at the top making these decisions, because people like myself have to go out there and execute them. We need that guidance and leadership, and I know from the youth side, the game looks very, very different. Having coached a session the other night, and kids are wearing a mask on the field, it's a different world we live in. You just get used to it. But the big thing is obviously the kids are enjoying it, and this is a great game for the players, and they're enjoying the opportunity out here tonight.
NCFC yellow card in the 73rd minute of play to number 7, Pekka.
How many cards is that on the season for Pekka, Dean? I wouldn't be surprised if he picks up a few this season. He's not afraid to put his foot in, and that's obviously what's needed.
I have done that research, and I can fill in the blanks on the number of cards for Pekka as coming into this game. Believe it or not, he's got none. So, yeah. So here's Lomas. Lomas, Pettis showing. But I know what you mean by that question. Here's Taylor.
He's such a nice guy. Obviously, he must talk to the referees before the game and getting the good books. Maybe he's one of them. He gets away from the scene quickly after he's done the damage. Coach Anhauser's got to be so proud of his players. The numbers that they're getting behind the ball. Whenever you see an NCFC player with the ball, there's 2 or 3 white and gold shirts right around them, and it's been a fantastic performance from them. And right now they're looking full value for the win and the trophy, and it looks like it's heading back to South Carolina. But I hope we've got a few more twists in the tail here.
On point with all of those comments. Hats off, at least so far, to the battery. A big swing and the miss as Fortune gets undercut. Wants a card there as well.
A little Al-Badawi magic right here, maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, but you never know.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, Mike Anhauser hoping to make some more subs as Stavros Zerakastos is hoping to come in, as well as number 9, Arthur Bashwa. And Nick Daly. He earned one, didn't he? He deserved one, I think, as he comes out, number 11.
Yeah, he had a few chances, but a lot of that, you think of the running that he did to get into those positions. The one in the first half with Tambakis coming up big, but so that striker, it's about getting in the right positions over and over again, and it's only a matter of time before you get one. And obviously that one inside the 6-yard box, he just tucked away very calmly. Doing a great job of running the clock here, Lewis. Looking a little jaded after all the runs he's done today. It was his ball for the second. Getting the ball from Sachero, playing it across the box, finding Piggott. Or was that the first? Sorry, the first goal, sorry. Trey Fortune, we've seen some good things from him from this sort of range too, Dean.
Fortune over the ball. Fortune, but right to Kuzmensky, who handles it. '76th minute. Looked like offside, and it was. Good work over there far side. Bashwa, the South African.
Yeah, the big man there getting caught offside. NCFC readying their big man to come on after this break. Good chance for Coach Dave to maybe try and up the ante here. How are we gonna get a chance here? What are we gonna do to turn the screw and really try and get that goal to get themselves back in the game and maybe put the battery at panic stations?
So a hydration break. Dave Sarakin will use it as a timeout. 15 minutes to score 2. Hydration break brought to you by Chala Law. Stephen Miller coming on. There's the Charleston Battery Brain Trust. Been there a long time. Long history. As we said earlier, yes, they played 5 times in USL Championship, but these two teams have been playing 15 plus years ago. I mean, a long, long time. He talks about Robbie Christo, the super sub. He said he wanted to score 20 goals. This was pre-pandemic to start the season. He knew he was going to be a starter. Mike McGinty, who coached him in college, now on the coaching staff, as Lomas will take a seat for Christo. And he got that one as part of that comeback tie against Tampa. He wanted to keep going. We'll see if he can do it as a super sub, Andrew Tate.
This is how he earned another contract for this year, I think. Just what he did last year in such, limited minutes. He was always a threat and an impact coming off the bench. The question was, could he do it from the starting spot? Obviously, Marius Lomas coming back has to create a bit of competition up top, and he's a very talented player, so Christo now has to raise his game again, and this is an opportunity to get himself back in the starting lineup.
Abadawi over to Perez. Abadawi. Donovan.
Slightly different look now, I think, for the Charleston Battery with the changes they've made. Obviously taking out Lewis and Daly. That now with Bashir up there, it's going to be a bit more of a hold-up play, a little bit more of a patient, try and run the clock a little bit, which may help the NCFC try and get a little bit more territory here, but they're going to have to really try and unlock some things. Perez hasn't had the impact they expect him to have since he's entered the fray.
Great work tracking back there, Bashwa, to lay it down, and here comes Charleston Battery. It's going to be wide open. It's got to be, because North Carolina FC chasing 2 back. It'll open it up. Fortune can't get to it. Cleaned up here by the Battery. Chichero. This is trouble. Tambakis will handle it. He's going to need to go quickly with the transition. Pekka's got it. Pekka turns. Player coming. He'll drop it to Fortune. 80th minute. DJ Taylor.
Great play from DJ there. Got the ball, looked up, didn't see any options, managed to spin out of pressure and then find a great switch of play here to get North Carolina on the front foot.
Overlapping run, Miller was there. Ward decided to send it to Christo and handled the same way the center backs for Charleston Battery have handled the entire game. As you said, even when Proke is in there, they were dangerous, but that cleanup, that tidiness was always there for the Battery.
Yeah, they've looked very assured, very confident. They gave up 2 goals at the weekend, 2 soft goals, I might add as well. One outside the box gave Maki Diop, a dangerous player, too much space, and then a soft one from a set piece, which they would expect to do a lot better on. The 2 centre-backs find themselves open for Leland 2, but they've been fantastic today, and full value, I'd say, for the shutout. What a break.
Could be 3 here. Player in, and it's a goal. 3-0, and the Battery are absolutely rolling, starting to blow this one over, and Stavros Zerakostos has made it 3-0.
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate break, I think, there. Flicked off a shin, and then it was through to Zerakostos, and just kind of sums up the day right there. Sheikh carrying the ball out the back. The ball breaks. Right foot. Another poor touch off Kamsia. I mean, there's 2 bad deflections there that have conspired against NCFC, and it sort of sums up the evening tonight. Just everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, but full credit to the Battery. Their game plan has been executed to a T, and sadly for NCFC, they're in a giant hole right now with less than 10 to play.
The 3rd goal for the Charleston Battery. Zerakostas with the goal. And as they get it going again, North Carolina FC, they've got a whole lot of wood to chop here, down 3. Fans, you can follow North Carolina FC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and so much more. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Well, Andrew Tate, this is the point of the game where we salute all of the great sponsors of North Carolina FC, including Coastal Credit Union, who has put their name on the save of the game and the man of the match. But they've been specific. They said it's got to be a North Carolina FC player. As this one sent across by Manny Perez. Ward will send it back. I feel like you can grab a handful of the wonderful saves from the Sheik Greek Alex Tambakis for the Coastal Credit Union save of the game. I'm going to ask you to dig deep. It's not at all as if North Carolina FC didn't play well, just unlucky, and Charleston Battery in top form. They get an A+. It's not like North Carolina FC gets a failing grade, but it's going to be hard to pick one out. Manny Perez on it.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Dean, when you said I was struggling. Like, who am I going to go? Comcia's had a few blocks. Donovan's done okay. There's no tidy moments. Oh,
Taylor handball squares it. Waiting for the handball. Referee says no. Dave Sarakin wants to know why. Fortune, Taylor, back to Abadawi. Abadawi. Don't worry, folks. We'll definitely show it to you. Ian Lang, the best in the business at running it back. Next opportunity right now, though, we're going to keep on rolling. We've got to. North Carolina FC's got possession. Ward going to take a shot. And now we can look and see if it was a handball, Andrew Tate. I will say from my eye, the naked eye, I wasn't sure.
The question was asked quite aggressively. Shake's arms extended. I mean,
it's a handball.
Yeah. His arms way out there. The ball was getting cut back to the 6-yard box into a really dangerous area, and I think that's just adding insult to injury for NCFC. It's been one of those nights. There's been moments where they've shown real quality, but just not been able to have that cutting edge, and then you get sucker punched a minute ago with those double deflections that work out in the Battery's favour, and then that little moment there where, for me, I think 9 times out of 10 that's a penalty, and you've got the assistant referee and the referee looking right at it. And for Dave Sarakin and NCFC, it doesn't go their way.
That's a handball. I mean, his arm was out, sliding. It was extended, and it obstructed the path of the ball. So hands out, it stays out.
Yeah, it clearly pops up, Dean. There's no question. Unless there's a giant gopher out on the Wake Med soccer field, the ball clearly pops up in the air. But going back to your original point about who you'd pick out as man of match, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said Tambakis. You know,
there it is. Well done. Yep, he'll get him. He'll do the sweep, right? The save of the game and the man of the match, despite seeing 3 get by him, as Mike Anhauser and Dusty Hudak and Coach Walker, the coaching staff for the Battery, they're going to use all 5 subs, which is smart. Another one of the changes here is USL Championship's done a great job with all of the protocol. Coming into the game will be Kyle Nelson wearing number 3. And then also coming into the game will be Temi Adesadan, who is from Columbia, South Carolina. So Adesadan into the game wearing 15, and the Battery, they're going to win this one. They're going to keep that trophy and send it right back where it came from, back down to Charleston.
I'm thinking about the Tambakis saves, Dean. Without those saves, it could be 4 or 5, which would seem really, really harsh on NCFC, because, you know, I look at the Battery, I guess, of being kind of like a wolf, and the NCFC being kind of like the 3 little pigs. They've come in, they've blown the house down, and unfortunately for NCFC, they've just not been strong enough and aggressive enough, and the Battery have taken full advantage today.
In many ways, it makes you still feel okay about things, knowing that the top 2 teams get through. Memphis kind of been up and down, so it could come down to our neighbors from Charlotte, and guess what? They'll be in Charlotte a week from today, and that could be a 6-point swing. You go down to Charlotte, you win that game, you get 3, they don't get any, and you're right back in good shape, because at the end of the day, making the playoffs, anything can happen, right?
Absolutely. We saw that last year, Birmingham Legion squeaking in the 10th, coming here, getting into it. Anything can happen. And the good thing about most coaches, they see the perspective, they're able to kind of see the bigger picture. And I think as fans, we get very high and very low on one result. So you got to see the bigger picture and see that they're still alive. There's still a lot of points to be had. Catching Birmingham Legion could be tough, but now you turn your attention to Charlotte and Memphis and trying to outdo them over the next few games.
No matter where the summer takes you, Continental Tire provides the confidence to get you there for any surface in every season, from passenger cars to light trucks. There's a Continental Tire that delivers superior performance. To find your ideal tire, visit ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire, official sponsor of North Carolina FC. Back across, cleared out of there. As the Charleston Battery, to put it bluntly, they're continuing to bring the heat.
I think that's the worrying thing for NCFC. Before, really, it was all about the lack of goals, and we just needed to create more chances and start getting a bit more offensive production. But the worrying thing for the coaching staff, I think, going into the Charlotte game next, is going to be, the number of chances that they've conceded here.
Marini over the ball. I am reminded by, as this one's sent across, I am reminded, and correctly so, and I remembered when they made the rule by FIFA, but if you remember, FIFA has instructed officials not to call that as a handball when you use the arm for balance in a natural position, and that's exactly what he did. And because of that, it's not a handball, as I was emphatic about it, because it changed direction. But indeed, my good friend Ben Pierman, who was a great player at Michigan State, great assistant coach at Michigan State, and now at Memphis, reminds me of that, Andrew Tate, and he's right.
Yeah, the problem is, Dean, I think the rule might be right, but the execution of it by officials, and even on VAR in the Premier League and some of those levels, you don't always see it go the way maybe it should by the letter of the law. And I think that's the handball rule since I've been alive has been one of those that just completely bamboozles folks. What's a handball? What's not a handball? No matter what you do with the law, I think it's all down to interpretation. And for referees in that split second, it's a very difficult thing to do. But if you're telling me that's the law and it's been executed effectively, then hats off to the referee and the assistant referee.
Well said, Andrew. And thank you to Ben for the clarification. Here's Taylor. Now over to Manny Perez. DJ Taylor. Looking for another one there. And a hard tackle coming in by Donovan. He'll get a yellow card. So Donovan with the yellow card. And that's the third yellow card for Donovan. And we mentioned Alex Tambakis, Coastal Credit Union save of the game. Break it down, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, unbelievable. Kimsia got twisted. Everything good to hold up Daly, but Tambakis stays big like he is. And that was such a huge moment in the game. We felt that could be big in helping North Carolina get a result here today. You see, he just keeps his arms out and he's able to just skew it away, because it's one of those, it could have fallen back to Daly, but he does a really good job of even getting away from the danger area as well. Sadly for North Carolina, and especially for Alex Tambakis, his efforts have been in vain.
But he is the man of the match. Very astutely called by my main man, Andrew Tate. Great to have him back up here in the booth while Austin DeLuz is tending to some other important business. The man of the match, the Chic Greek, as I was corrected by the great fans of North Carolina FC, and that's going to stick with me. I like it, and I want to hear that song live someday. I hope the fans can get back here. We can get through this. And you know what? There's going to be better days for North Carolina FC for sure.
Yeah, you can see what they're trying to do and the players that they've brought in. With 5 changes today, that was the question we asked before the game, the rhythm, and could they get that offensive production? I think you saw Daniele Pro, positives from him, getting the chance early on, and Al-Badawi coming back, and Akeem Ward coming back from injury today. It hasn't worked. You've got to take your hats off to the battery. They've been fantastic, and a few breaks at 2-0 to make it 3, but full credit to them. I think they've had a good day today. But a lot more points to be had and games to play.
Andrew, I think we are going to have a fair argument on that whole handball thing. The folks from Raleigh City Sports saying, arms are used in general to balance, and they're right. I mean, totally. As it is, I was just reading from the FIFA laws. Tough call, though, because it definitely changed the flight of the ball. But like you said, even the Premier League, they don't get it right?
Yeah, as a player, you see the ball hit the hand, right? by the label on it, handball. I mean, for me, I don't get, you know, and you hear it from referees all the time even when you're going for a header, hey, don't use your hands. Well, I can't chop my arms off while I'm about to jump up. They're there. You know what I mean? It's a part of it. For me, I think Van Schaik, if handball would have been called, he would have argued it, but deep down inside, he'd have known it's a handball. Or would have expected it to be given. Let's give it that way.
The extra time here brought to you by the good folks at Citrix, yet another outstanding corporate partner for North Carolina FC. Wonderful culture here with the club. Owner Steve Malik, President GM Kurt Johnson, Pete Chandra, Jorge Acuna, Morgan, the great ticketing staff, Kyle, the entire gang. And speaking of great people, special shout out, of course, to our incredible crew here today. Love working with each and every one of them, as this will go the other way. That includes Kyle Lang's crew. Joe Driver Ferrara is your director. Dylan Field getting it done. Our youngster Colin Thrash, Ian Lang on replay. Brian Ware, yeah, he runs the camera, but the man is money. Curtis Adams, Cam Newworth, Noah Seidenberg, Tim Arms making it look pretty. Andrew Tate, Dean Linke, and of course our VP of Broadcasting, Jorge Acuna. But we care a lot, right? So we're all hanging a little bit here because at home we're used to North Carolina FC delivering the goods. Battery going to try to put the nail on this one as just 2 minutes left on that Citrix extra time. Manny Perez, signed by Celtic on loan for the second year with his home club. What kind of stories have you heard about Manny Perez as a youngster, you being with NCFC Youth?
Yeah. He's such an understated character. You know, he's not a big personality off the field, I don't feel. Like, he's so quiet. But obviously the fireworks that he can bring to the game is great. And I did a clinic with him where we came out and he was working with some of the grassroots players in the area, and he was fantastic. You wouldn't have known he was a professional player signed by Celtic. He just sort of blended in with these kids in Ghana in his hometown, and such a down-to-earth character that obviously has got big aspirations to go and improve himself. And living on a farm, I would never have guessed he lived on a farm either, Dean. He doesn't seem like a farm boy, but maybe he's chasing around those animals for so long. That's why he's so fast.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that story that Daniele Proch wrote about him. I didn't know he lived on a farm either, but Daniele Proch talking about all the animals he's got and the chores he's got to do every day. And good work. Good work by both of them. Proch with his penmanship and the story of Manny Perez. A nice job by you, Andrew Tate, breaking down his story as there's the whistle. And we're just a minute away. There'll be a yellow card coming in. And Graham Smith. Such a great year a year ago. He was coached by George Kiefer down at USF. So he's able to stay in touch with the top man at NC State, as they're still holding out some hope of maybe being able to play some games. Looking to add to their 3-0 lead, the Battery here in the final minute. And a push, it'll come back to North Carolina FC. All right, Andrew Tate, real quick, as we got the final seconds here, and we know the Charleston Battery are going to get the win. If you're North Carolina FC, how do you put these two games in the rear view mirror?
You have to, Dean. You know, you just got to find a way. They've got to find the positives. You know, it's easy to dwell on what went wrong. But finding the positives, obviously there's players, there's a lot of competition, but somebody's going to start stepping up and really stamping their authority on the positions that are available for grabs. Daniele Proch did well today, Graham Smith coming in today. You know, these are players that have done things that want to get in there and showcase what they can do. But I think they just need a goal, a goal to go ahead and get that break. Today it didn't happen. Charlotte's another game, an easy game to get up for, another derby. And hopefully they can go down there, snatch 3 points and get back to Wakemed Soccer Park for some better results and better days.
Graham Smith, final seconds, still trying to find one. And once again, looking for a clean sheet there is Joe Kuzminski. And with that whistle, your final score, Mike Anhauser's Charleston Battery 3, North Carolina FC 0. Final thoughts, Andrew Tate on Alex Tambakis, the Sheik Greek, and this North Carolina FC team suffering a tough loss here tonight.
Yeah, that's the third one now this season. As I'm thinking back, you know, how good we were at home last year. It's not as if we've been bad this year. Things just haven't fallen our way, and I think it's key for Coach Dave Sarachan and the squad to keep the focus on the bigger picture. You know, learn from the things that they can do better, and then just continue to keep believing, because they've got a squad here and they cause problems for the Battery. They've just got to keep moving in the right direction. It will turn.
Well said, Andrew. That's your got to be NC Agriculture. Final score: Charleston Battery 3, North Carolina FC 0. Once again, for our crew: Joe Farrar, Dylan Field, Colin Thrash, Ian Lang, Brian Ware, Curtis Adams, Cam Newworth, Norris Seidenberg, Tim Arms, and Kyle Lang, as well as Jorge Acuna. My broadcast partner, Andrew Tate. I'm Dean Linke. Tough one for Dave Sarachan and Alex Tambakis. Your final score here at WakeMed Soccer Park: Charleston Battery 3, North Carolina FC 0. Thanks for watching, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
We see you, doing your part by looking out for all of us. And though you may have lost sight of your own well-being, Aetna never did. By setting up virtual monitoring for chronic patients, 24-hour telemedicine visits, and mental health resources for everyone, we're always here to help you focus on your health. Because it's always time for care.
Select Physical Therapy is focused on patient safety now more than ever before. Select's centers remain open and offer a safe environment for you to receive physical therapy services. You don't need a doctor's referral to begin care and start feeling better today. Select Physical Therapy also offers telerehab, so you can easily connect with a licensed therapist through web-based technology that is HIPAA compliant, right from the comfort of your home. Visit selectphysicaltherapy.com to schedule an appointment. Select Physical Therapy, the power of physical therapy.
Baker Roofing was founded in 1950, and for over 100 years, our guiding principle has been always good work. Through the years, we've honed the craftsmanship and artistry it takes to create a roof that looks great and stands the test of time. Our crews bring decades of experience to each project, and we draw on that experience to ensure our work meets or exceeds expectations. At Baker Roofing, we will always do good work.
At Coastal, we believe it shouldn't take a lot of money to save a lot of money. Many banks require minimum deposits for certificates that are quite an investment. But with Coastal, you only need $250 to start saving. Plus, you get rates that are seriously competitive. Find out how a certificate from Coastal can help you save more for less money.
There's a special place just for kids, where inpatient, outpatient, and children's emergency care comes from people who love what they do, almost as much as who they do it for. WakeMed Children's. Your kids, your choice.